Have you ever had friends that you thought that they were your friends, like you weren't sure if they're your friends or not? Well, that happened to me in the 6th grade. Today I'm going to tell you something, how to pick your right friends. Alright, so when Mr. Herrick was telling us in the beginning of the year how to tell if someone's a leader, like the qualities, the first impressions and everything, that's what I use that to see if my friends follow the same rules, like the same exact things. Like their first impression, I started paying attention to them, and I learned that they're not really like my friends if they act like a fool. So like in the 6th grade back then, I had a friend. Like when I first met him, he came up to me and like he was like funny and stuff. But then he started like when we started like getting close and stuff, and then he started switching up, started talking about me. So then that goes back to the future, like today, that Mr. Herrick was telling us about all the first impressions. So I could have used that back then to like learn who my true friends are. And so and everything. Hold on. Alright, so the thing I learned about leadership, something else, is that never mind. Okay, so to conclude, don't trust anyone, don't trust everyone, and today I told you something about I learned LeadWorthy.
Okay, so we all learn stuff in LeadWorthy because that's what we come here for every day for school. And the main thing that I learned from LeadWorthy is to always be respectful and confident on what you say. Last year in elementary school, I was a really disrespectful kid. I'd always talk back to the teachers and like make fun of people for no reason. And ever since I got to this class, I realized how bad I was, and I regret doing all that stuff that I usually did before. And seeing it from what other people tell me and what Mr. Herrick showed to the class, then I've really changed since then, and I'm proud of it. And I'm glad that I'm more respectful to my parents and everybody else, and being confident in what I say, it makes me feel more like, I'd say like powerful and controlling myself more. And yeah, that's today I told you what I learned.
And LeadWorthy is self-control, what Mr. Herrick taught us, because I've been kind of getting out the self-control because I got in dust fights this week, and I'm controlling myself more than YouTube. And like at my old school, like my old 2 schools, I got into a lot of fights, and I just kept on getting to fights. And around my neighborhood, the apartments I used to live in, we would go outside and start fighting because somebody starts me. But I kind of got more self-control. And Mr. Herrick said, if you have self-control, you go a long way. So my dad said the same thing. So around when he said that, I just thought to myself, I sat down at the almost about being into a fight, and I sat down, I was thinking to myself, like, you have self-control. And my mom said, when you get mad, or, I need to get super mad at my house, but my mom said, when you get mad, just take a deep breath, count to 10, and then go along with your life, and, don't make a dumb mistake that can kind of mess your life up. So, one thing I learned in LeadWorthy is to have self-control and trust, because if you don't, it can probably mess up the rest of your life.
You only get one chance, and you have to use it carefully. This quote was written by Herrick, which means that we should be careful by forming a first impression. Today, I'm going to be talking about a lesson that I learned in LeadWorthy. A lesson that I learned is that first impressions are very important. This lesson stands out to me because this is when I realized the big impact first impressions could have on me. This lesson helped me to become the best out of myself whenever I met someone new. I have heard about this lesson before, but this is when I realized how important it was for me. I started using the 8 Qs after learning this lesson, and I'm very glad that I got to learn this lesson in this class. Today I've talked about a lesson that I've learned in LeadWorthy. something that I'd like to leave with y'all is that you only get one chance to make a good first impression, so you have to use it carefully. Thank you.
So a lesson I learned today in LeadWorthy is growth mindset. It's better to have growth mindset than it is fixed mindset. 'Cause if you have fixed mindset, then you're never doing things that you're not good at. Like for an example, I used to play in basketball trials. I wasn't never good at shooting. And now I went to the court and I started practicing like every other day or every day, and I got better. So that's why it's like better to have growth mindset than it is fixed mindset. If you have fixed mindset, then you will never improve the things that you're not good at. You'll just be okay with doing that. So today I told you about why it's good to have growth mindset instead of fixed mindset, because you never improve on things. And that's what's
Okay, so first impressions are really like a big deal. You go into an interview, you come dressed up weird, right? And they're like not. So let's say you're dressing up and it's like business formal. You got dressed up in like a suit or everything, and you just come in like shorts and a t-shirt. That's already like a bad first impression because you don't respect what they want you to wear. And today I'm going to be telling you about something I learned in LeadWorthy. So first impressions are just everything. It tells a person who you are, how you act, and things like that. Like the way you dress, maybe the way you talk, the way you present yourself, and if you do something that's like out of the ordinary, it could either be good or bad. It could help you like in a positive way, or it could be either way sometimes. But today I told you about something I learned in LeadWorthy, and I want to leave you off something with always have a good first impression.
Alright, so like when I was a little boy, I used to do very bad stuff. I'm not giving that one, but I don't do that bad stuff, but because then I had a little brother. So when I had a little brother, I started being my dad said I started being influenced. And now today I'm going to tell you about something I learned about LeadWorthy. What I learned in LeadWorthy is the first impression and influences and how to be first impression. So when I was like 10, and my brother started, I think he was like 6 to 7, and they were bad like me and my dad. And my dad, he later ended up telling me that was my fault and how I was acting, like fighting and stuff, and how they acted first impression. Like I remember one time, like I know I was trying to help the basketball team right now. I was outside with my friend, and I walked out like, "What's up?" And then I paid the price for it. He still let me play on the team, but I feel like, oh yeah, I started running laps and stuff, and he made me like pull like the bullshit off the ground. He put something in there, said I had to find things that I had 15 minutes to do it. So during that time, now I see myself better influencing my brothers and stuff. And back when I was in elementary school, I was to make sure like I was better than they were. Then they were better than I was, and then how I acted. So today I want to leave you with learn to be a good influence to anyone and everyone you meet.
Oh, you started it?
Just keep it running.
Alright. Bromine, bromoxetine, and melacholamine, all of this are very vital ingredients for a lot of the things in our medicines and such. But combining these things together can make one of the most deadliest drugs that ravage our modern day society, meth. There's a whole point to this. I feel like everyone has these things from in your life. You have all these ingredients that can help you reach success and reach a positive outcome in life. But if you mix these things together wrong, you can lead people in the wrong direction and cause havoc. And this is one of the things that I learned as LeadWorthy, that we must take our life experiences, our talents, our skills, we must combine them and help other people and try our best not to lead people and ourselves in the wrong direction. These are very important life lessons I learned. So these are very important life lessons I learned so that we cannot go down a path of destruction, but in the path of light and prosperity.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I would like to leave you with a positive quote by me, of course. It goes, "For the one who contains knowledge must choose their own path." Thank you.
So I'm going to tell you what a lesson I learned in LeadWorthy. The lesson I learned is about attitudes, and it's helped me a lot after we learned about it, because me and my mom, she has an attitude and I have an attitude, I guess, so she says. I don't think I do, but she says I just don't see it because I'm so used to it. But I try to start noticing it more as I talk to her, like the way I dress, my eyes, my posture, my facial expressions, and she started taking pictures of me, so to show me what I look like, to show me that I have an attitude. And I try to change it a lot by thinking how it changes the whole concept of your conversation, and how it take you a long way about how you're presented and how someone else thinks of you. Because if you have a bad attitude with your manager or something that you're a job interview and you have a very bad attitude and it's not going to get you nowhere, and if you have a good attitude then you might get promoted. But my mom told me I'm probably not going to be the person to get promoted. But yeah, that's the lesson I learned.
So today I'm going to tell you about self-concept, or self-control. Yeah, outside of school I'm pretty bad, usually. Actually, it was 2 weeks ago, I had the cops called on me for fireworks. Yeah, it wasn't fun. It was, my neighbor hates me. And, yeah, he really hates me. And one of my friends, Zach, I've heard of him. He goes to the high school. We ride dirt bikes around. We've had cops called on that too. And lately I've been calming down, just sort of because of my parents. And I've been growing for like a month now. He is calming down also because I told him that if we keep it up, we're gonna get go to jail or something. So yeah, today I told you how I learned self-control in this class.
So I'm here to tell you about math. No, I'm just kidding. So you have 30 seconds to, you have 30 seconds to make a good first impression. Then I'm going to tell you about why learning first impressions matter to LeadWorthy. So one way you can make a good first impression is dress good, because if you go to a job interview and you have flip-flops and you have nasty feet, it's not good. When you have shorts on a tank top and you're supposed to work at a law firm, you're not gonna get the job. And you don't want to have want to be clean shaven, and you also want to have a good handshake. If somebody has your hair like this, walk in one. Mind touching your hand. And there's somebody have a good tone of voice. You don't want to yell at them. Just really quiet. It's you're in a law thing, or a lawyer. They can't get you in bond. So today I told you about something I learned in LeadWorthy.
So when you're talking to someone and they're staring at you in your eyes, but they won't look away, and it gets awkward. But there's also those people that won't even look at you, and you're like, oh, they're not listening to me, they don't care about me. Yeah. A lesson I learned in LeadWorthy class is eye contact is important when you're talking to people, because it shows them that you care, but you also don't want to make them uncomfortable. Like me, I don't like looking at people when they're talking to me, in their eyes, because it's weird for me. But then if they don't look at me, I'm just dude, listen to me, And then, so I think it's really important, especially with first impressions, because it lets them know that you're listening, you care. Yeah. And then a lesson I learned in LeadWorthy class is that whenever someone's talking to you, make sure you make eye contact because it shows them that you care and you're listening.
Well, I have. Today I'm going to tell you a lesson about learning LeadWorthy. The lesson I'm talking about is about I possess, and the S is self-control. Well, when I first heard about it, when Mr. Herrick was talking about it, I thought it was going to be like another like regular lesson that it's going to be probably going to help me in my future, but it really did. So self-control is like having the ability to be calm in situations that like are really crucial, like someone getting hurt and stuff like that and whatever. So I have anger problems, but for me I have anger problems, and when I get mad, like on basketball, when I get mad, when someone messes up, I always yell, or like I throw the ball at somebody's head, something like that. And having more self-control, like like I need devotion to remain calm, because I don't want to like other kids looking at me as in like, oh, he's a bad guy and whatever and stuff like that. And I really hope it's gonna help me in my future, because I want kids to look up at me as like a role model and not like someone that's gonna like look bad. Like I want to say something like, it's sort of like my dad when yesterday he got mad at me and whatever because I messed up my ankle, but I don't want to be like someone like that. Just be like, I want to see like how you did that and stuff like that, and like I want to help and whatever. So yeah, and yeah. So today I told you a lesson I learned in LeadWorthy, and I challenge you to share self-control to other people.
Setting goals for yourself is important. Most of the time during my childhood, I didn't have any goals, and I would just live life by the day. We would do dumb stuff, fun, and we would just do random stuff, and we would never like try anything at school. We wouldn't like try to learn or anything. And then I came here, and I tried to set goals for myself, but I literally couldn't. Like, I would try to get better grades, but I wouldn't function, like, in school. I couldn't like, take anything seriously. And then we fast forward to when I came to this class. So when I came to this class, we learned about setting goals and how you should try to set goals for yourself. That way you can improve as a person. And it's been life-changing to me in many ways. Today I'm going to tell you about something that I learned in LeadWorthy class. And something that I learned is to set goals for yourself so we can. Setting goals for yourself is very important to me because it made me partially of who I am today. I never knew that I would be so good at dancing for my culture until I figured that out a few months ago. And I started to learn and I started practicing, and I made a goal for myself to make it into a dance crew. And now I have. I made it into a dance crew, and now I'm competing next month for $1,000. Might win. But yeah, so I'm competing, and I'm going to try really hard to set my new goal, which is winning that competition. And today I've told you something I learned in LeadWorthy class.
Alright, so my name is Jamie Beston. Most of y'all know me, I think. And today I'm going to tell you about something I learned in LeadWorthy. Something I learned in LeadWorthy was attitude is everything. So attitude, it can like help you succeed, and attitude can like fail, like it'll make you fail. And like a bunch of stuff in like for example, when I was like in sixth grade through 7th grade, my attitude was like horrible. Like I would get mad easily. So I played basketball and we'd play a game and we'd be losing, and I would just get mad at my teammates and blame it on them. But most of the time, what I was saying was probably my fault, and I would just take it out on my teammates. I'd probably take it out on my teammates because I don't want to blame it on me, because then it'll make me feel bad. And my dad, he talked to me. He would always get mad at me. He's like, your attitude is horrible. And I would be like, no, it's not. In my mind, I would be like, no, it's not. And then once I got to this class, you started talking about attitude and how sometimes you think it's not you, and you started telling us about that. So I was like, wow, maybe what he was saying was right. And now I know that attitude is actually everything. And so today I told y'all about something I learned in LeadWorthy. And yeah.
Have you ever had an experience that you were scared or you don't want to step up for yourself? Well, today I'm going to talk about how I learned to have a confidence about myself. And that lesson taught me because Mr. Herrick told me one time when I was here that $20 bills will be the same value either you crumble it or you put it on the dirt. And it will still be the same even if you don't step up for yourself or you step up for yourself. Today I told you about the lesson that I learned to be confident about yourself.
Imagine walking down the hall and seeing the new kid that everyone's been talking about. For most of us, what we first think of is what his shoes are like, or what his hair looks like, or even, the way he walks, the way he presents himself. And for many of us, that could influence the way we see him even the rest of the school year. Today I'm going to tell you about a lesson I learned in LeadWorthy. When I first learned this lesson, I didn't think it was all that important, but later that day when we went out, I ended up meeting someone, and I didn't know who they were, but they ended up being a very important person in my life. And that was ended up being one of my soccer coaches. And I didn't create a good first impression with him, but it taught me something that to never take meeting people for granted and to always be the best you no matter where you go or where you meet someone. And having a good first impression could mean smiling or walking well and dressing well and just presenting yourself the best you know you can be. And today I've told you about a lesson I've learned in LeadWorthy, and that's to always make a good first impression on people because for all you know, they could be your boss, your teacher, or your coach, or someone that could later on make a large impact in your life. And I want to leave you with a quote that the great philosopher Beyonce once said, and that is, take opportunities.
Okay, so at the beginning of the year, I was reading myself, so I was scared. I didn't really know what to bring the first impression of myself. And I thought that I was gonna fit in and face value with everybody. So what I've learned in LeadWorthy is to be myself and to always speak my mind when I need to. It's most important to me because I struggle with the following problem. I haven't learned to be someone else or not to be someone else. And what I'm going to leave off with is, so this is what I learned from my LeadWorthy experience, and we'll learn from my class, and we'll try my best to be myself and not to be someone else.
Now, we've learned a lot in this class, and for me, it's hard just to pick one lesson that I've learned here. But one of the lessons has stood out to me for a while, and I would like to discuss this lesson with the rest of you guys. So basically, we learned a lot in this class, and we had an awesome teacher teaching us all of our lessons and stuff. And out of all these lessons, growth mindset was the one lesson that stood out to me. And this stood out to me because of how positive this mindset is, how if you think a certain way, that's how you act in real life. And if it's really different to me because it's like, well, how does that really happen? So I tested this and it does work, and this applies to me because I've always had a positive mindset. I've been with it since I was born, and I really like it. And this applies to me because it's really positive and stuff. And I think I've applied this by thinking of every failure as a stepping stone for success, and for every problem there is a solution. And all in all, I challenge you to think about this lesson. I want you to try to apply this mindset to your life, and I'm telling you that it's gonna change. It's gonna change your life for the best.
During the beginning of the year, being yourself is hard. You have to wear this mask to make a good first impression. But during the middle of the year, sometimes you change and you can even soften up. Today I would like to talk to you about image and self-concept. When Mr. Herrick mentioned image, I thought to myself, it sounds a lot like reputation, instead of thinking for yourself. In school, image would mean that you would care for what others think of you and you want to make a good impression and feel good about yourself. But there are also negatives and positives. Some negatives could mean that you could take bad views on yourself. Not only that, but you could also, for some of these cases, could cause, for instance, some people could do bullying because of the way that people think of themselves. Or another negative would be that you're scared to pick yourself, that you put a mask and you hide yourself, even though that person may not be thinking the same thing. But some positive outcomes would be that you can change maybe your previous image of whom others might view you was not your true desire. But not only that, for example, a positive outcome would be your very best friend tells you what they think, so you don't end up in a bad relationship with being like fake, like, because if it was like self-concept wise, I wouldn't really take it on people based on my feelings to change myself because of what others think. So today I would like to leave you with a message and opinion about having images and self-concept. People may say, think, or do things that might harm you, but that does not define who you are. Thank you.
Have you ever felt that your only job was to hide behind a mask? That you were only able to not show your true self? These statements go towards something I learned in LeadWorthy. Since day one, I found myself hiding behind my true self. I've been shy. I've never wanted to step up, talk, speak, do anything. Over time, I found myself slowly getting up there and being able to somewhat lead good things, answer questions, kind of, and be able to talk to the people at my table. Though it was difficult, I found that this class has shown me that nobody will judge you for who you are, and if your opinions matter. Today, I told you that over this year, this class has shown me so many things about being my true self. That hiding behind a mask is not a way to show success and getting through life. I've learned to not worry, not be shy, and I just want to leave you with always remember to just be your true self.
Throughout my time within this class, something that I've learned and really took in the heart is first impressions. And so today I'm going to tell you about first impressions. Why I took first impressions, like actually listen, I guess, is that it could like really change your career. Because like that person that you might have just like jacked around with, like just was mean to him, could one day be your boss, and you could lose your job. And then also, you know, if like your job interview, like you don't take it seriously, you could lose your job also. So I think that's why first impression is very serious. And today I told you about a lesson about what I've learned at LeadWorthy. And I challenge you to, when you meet new people, make your first impression the best.
The word leader is defined in the dictionary as someone who leads a group of people. Many people live their lives only knowing this one definition, and so this instills a false idea of what a leader is. However, through my time in this LeadWorthy class, I learned that being a leader is not just what the definition says. Today, I'm going to tell you about how I learned how leaders are people who benefit other people. So, when I first came into this class, I didn't have a good idea of what a leader looked like. I always thought that it was somebody people just overall thought was cool kids, or just people who were just like a teacher who would lead the class.
But it wasn't until I got here until I learned that a leader is somebody who benefits other people. And this can mean either from solving global hunger or even just helping somebody drop their books in the hallway. And anyone can be a leader, anyone. Doesn't matter if you're big, tall, short or small, anybody can be a leader. Doesn't matter who you are. And this lesson was so important to me. This lesson was so important to me because I realized that anybody has the potential to impact the world. It doesn't matter who you are, you can make a difference in people's lives, and in turn, you can help. I mean, those small differences can make a change in the world. So today, I just told you about how my LeadWorthy class, I learned that being a leader is just about benefiting other people. And being a leader doesn't require anything special. So I want to challenge you to be a leader. And do even something small as giving somebody a compliment if they look sad. You never know how far that small thing could go. Thank you.
And before this class, I had a fixed mindset. I believed that if I couldn't do anything, that I wouldn't even try. And like for the speeches, I was nervous. Like I just told myself like I couldn't do it and I wouldn't do it. And so I learned that kind of growth mindset that you have to just try and you have to push yourself to do it. Even if you don't want to do it, you have to do it. And I feel like that made me better and it's like helping me. And today I just come to a lesson I learned in the
Have you ever had a point in your life where you just wanted to give up all the time? Well, I used to be like that. But I used to be like that. But as I came to this class, I learned that I should stop being like that. Today I'm going to tell you about how I improved having a fixed mindset. So before I came into this class, I thought that if anybody did better than me, I couldn't be better than them and I would be stuck where I was. I thought that if I failed, that I didn't have to try again because if I tried again, I would keep on failing. But as I came into this class, I realized that people are going to be better than me, but if I focused on trying harder and improving on myself, I would succeed and I could do better than them. And I realized that I shouldn't just give up when I fail. I should keep on trying and I should stay motivated and I shouldn't give up. So, because that's what you should do if you want to have a growth mindset. Today, I told you about changing my mindset throughout this class. I would like to leave you with the quote, "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time." This was said by Thomas Edison.
Have you ever been so mad at something and lost self-control to protect you from, have you ever been so mad at something but used self-control to protect you from doing something to get you in trouble? Well, I have, and here's how. Back in the first semester, when it was time for basketball tryouts, I wasn't really prepared. I didn't have my physical or anything. And all I remember is on the announcements came on and said, all basketball players who want to try out report to the gym. And I was so hyped and I was like excited because this is what I've been waiting for the whole year. I've been talking trash to a lot of people the whole year. And when I got in the gym, when I stepped in the gym, coach came to me and he called me over and he was like, "Where's your physical? I don't see it." And I was like, "Oh, I don't have it right now." So he told me to call my mom and I did. And when I called my mom, I was really mad because I couldn't try out that day. And that's what I was looking for the whole day and I was super excited. And I called my mom in anger, but I did not yell or lose my temper. And I was thinking like, if I lose my temper, then she's not gonna bring me to get my physical. So I was like staying calm and asking her nicely and stuff. And so later that night, we went to go get my physical. And I was like, if it wasn't for my self-control, then I would have never got my physical. And so that's all I want to say today. And I want to leave you with, if there is ever a situation where you don't feel yourself or just feel mad, just stay calm and use self-control.
If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change the way you think about it. That's a quote by Mary, I can't pronounce her last name. Today I will tell you about a lesson I learned in LeadWorthy. The lesson I learned is how to refrain. This lesson stood out to me because before I knew what it was, I always thought negatively. Since I have learned this, I felt happier and I've had a more positive outlook on things.
Reframing has impacted my life in many ways, and one of the main ways is I notice I have a better attitude or reaction to things. I now try to teach my little siblings so that whenever like something happens to them, they can have an open mind and like be a better person about it. Reframing has also changed my attitude by helping me handle conflict in an easier fashion. Because before I would get upset like very quickly, and now I take a second to think about the situation and assess what's happening and dodge a bullet if it's possible. Today, I told you about a lesson I learned in LeadWorthy, and I'd like to leave you with a reminder that life is only 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. Thank you.
Introduced the class that I possess skills. What really stood out to me, and that was persistence. Today, I'm going to tell you something I learned in team leadership. The meaning of persistence is being able to stick with something despite the challenges, and I really lacked that before. If I wanted to set a goal, if I didn't have time for it, I would just quit it and leave it. But now I've learned how to stick with it and keep going with it, and I see changes in my work and my effort. And today I've told you something that I've learned in team leadership, and I challenge you to use persistence.
Sorry, I got lucky.
I'm gonna test and see if I can send a 2-minute video. Oh yeah, you guys are over there. I was looking over there. Yeah, I was looking at you guys. I'm testing something. This is my camera for tomorrow. I'm testing. I'm making a 2-minute video to see if I can send it.
So I'm in the video right now.
Yeah, we're at 48 seconds. So I'm filming for 2 minutes. I'm gonna delete it as soon as I'm done with it. I just want to see what I can do with the video, if I can send it somewhere, if I have to.
It's a pretty wide range.
It's got a good camera too. Say hi, Nick. Say hi, Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, say hi. Our Lord? Who's that? Is no one on?
I'm just recording, so I can always remember your pretty face.
I guess that's the life. It is. Yes, sir.
What's that? No, instead of just having 2 minutes of this. Alright, 2 minutes.
So imagine you and your friends, you all go to the rodeo, and you're all having a good time and everything. Then towards the end, they're all like, oh yeah, let's go on this big roller coaster and everything. But you don't really like roller coasters because you're scared of them. And so you decide not to while your friends go and have a good time, and you just sit there and do nothing. And so today I'm going to tell you about a lesson that I learned in LeadWorthy. And so that lesson I learned is that you're always going to be a slave to your fears. And so in my opinion, you have these fears, right? And so the fears, they prevent you from doing these things that they could change your life. But if you don't do these things, then you might not be able to have the opportunity to, do those cool things. And so, say you want to travel for the basketball team or the baseball team or something like that, and you end up not trying out because you don't think you're good enough. But then, say you have this good friend, and he tried out for the team, and he makes it, and you know you're better than him. So you kind of think man, I could have made the team, but you didn't try out because you're too scared to. And so, Mr. Kyle, your precinct he came in, I remember he was the one who kind of introduced me to that lesson. And from the time he came into our class, I kind of started thinking like on every decision after that I made, that I had time to like think about, just to take a step back at it and look at it, and kind of think like if like I had benefit from this thing I'm about to do, and if I could, then I might as well try it. Couldn't hurt me. And so today I've told you about a lesson I learned in LeadWorthy and how you're always a slave to your dreams. And so I wanted to leave you guys with a challenge to always just try new things.
Every day from the moment you're born, you're influenced. You're taught lessons, you're taught good and bad, good and bad choices too. Well, something I learned in LeadWorthy was you influence people and people influence you. Even though you don't notice you're influencing people, you are. And something I learned in LeadWorthy was you have to watch what you say and what you do, because you don't know who's watching. You don't know who's paying attention to your actions or what you're saying. And there's a lot of followers, and so people will follow you. So you have to watch what you say and watch what you do. So something I learned in LeadWorthy was you influence others and others influence you. And something I want to leave you with is watch what you say and watch what you do, because you never know who's watching, who may be influenced.
So, first impressions, like, we all know what they are, but half the time, like, we don't, like, use them. We just, like, show up, like, what we're doing, and we don't even, like, know, like, people are evaluating us. And I learned this in LeadWorthy, and about every day, we give off a first impression to somebody, because there's always somebody new that you don't know. And whether you know it or not, like, these 15 seconds, or however long it is, that could be like the most crucial time of that friendship that you're gonna have with that person. And so with all this being said, if you want a good friendship, you gotta start it off with at least looking good or being nice to them. And in LeadWorthy, we learn a lot about first impressions and why they're important. And Mr. Herrick has made it clear that without a good first impression, you're not gonna make it very far in life, because it's one of the few keys of success.